Welcome to the video portion of this study. Prior to watching this video, you should have completed the pre-video questionnaire. Once again, thank you very much for your time, effort, and participation in my study. The video will now begin. Have you ever wondered if there was something that you could do that would give you a longer, healthier life? Something straightforward, affordable, and simple? Something that would make you feel better, stronger, and more energized? Now, before we address this topic, I would like to take a look at some statistics. So think about this. 1 out of 3 Americans are considered overweight. Another 1 out of 3 Americans are considered to be obese, totaling to be 2 out of every 3 Americans with a weight considered to be too high. 1 out of every 4 American deaths are due to heart disease each year. And most 10-year-olds already have aortic fatty streaks, which is known to be an early sign of heart disease. Okay, 10-year-olds. The American Diabetes Association reports that 1.5 million Americans are diagnosed with diabetes each year. If you take a look at this article here from Healthline, it reads, "For decades, type 2 diabetes was considered an adults-only condition. In fact, type 2 diabetes was once called adult-onset diabetes. But what was once a disease mainly faced by adults is becoming more common in children." This fact is backed up by statistics from the American Diabetes Association, which report that from the year 2011 to 2012, the annual incidence of diagnosed diabetes in youth was estimated at 17,900 with type 1 diabetes, but what's even more alarming is 5,300 with type 2 diabetes. And of course, these numbers have only risen since then. Now, an even more shocking number. 1 out of every 3 people will develop cancer in their lifetime, and 1 out of every 5 people will die from cancer. This is from the American Cancer Society. Now, of course, one could imagine, after hearing all these facts, that a country with so many health problems must also face lots of healthcare costs, which is 100% the case. According to a report from Axios, Americans spent $3.65 trillion on healthcare in 2018. One might ask, what could fix this? All these health issues and conditions. And really the truth is, there's no perfect pill or drug, there's no surgery or procedure that has provided real long-term results that fix all these underlying issues. Of course, we would love it if there was a perfect pill or drug, surgery or procedure that would just, one and done, fix every problem. However, that's not the case. What if I were to tell you the answer isn't a pill or a drug? What if the answer isn't a surgery or a procedure? What if I were to tell you that obesity, diabetes, cancer, and heart disease, really any health problem, could be cured, reversed, or tackled through a simple diet and lifestyle change? What if I were to tell you it would be a plant-based diet that would do all of this? A plant-based diet is a diet full of fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and legumes, along with limited consumption, but ideally no, consumption of processed foods, oils, and all animal products such as dairy and meat. This way of eating has been proven to truly work wonders. First, let's break some of these benefits down. A plant-based diet has been proven to not only prevent, but reverse heart disease. Dr. Ornish tested the effects of a plant-based diet on participants with moderate to severe heart disease. Participants were directed to only make dietary changes, and within weeks, 90% of chest pain diminished. Soon later, blood flow to the heart improved, and blocked arteries began to reopen. 30 years later, after the study was done, all of the patients are still alive and healthy. That is shocking, that after 30 years, these people that had moderate to severe heart disease, they were still able to be living now, healthy, all through making this dietary change. This way of eating has also been proven to prevent, manage, and reverse diabetes. It's found by a 2003 study funded by the National Institutes of Health. Eating a plant-based diet controlled blood sugar 3 times more effectively than a traditional diabetes diet, a diet which limited carbohydrates and calories. Patients began to see lots of improvement with improved insulin sensitivity and weight loss. This diet has also been proven to improve weight. One physicians' committee study tested a plant-based diet in a group of moderately to severely overweight women. They restricted animal product consumption and limited consumption of oil. The women on average lost 1 pound a week, and keep in mind, without exercise or counting calories. The women were able to maintain their weight still 2 years after. This way of eating has also been proven to reduce the risk for cancer. Healthy diet and lifestyle behaviors could prevent 40% of cancer cases, and it has also been reported that by making plants the base of our diets, we could reduce our risk for cancer. 2 speakers have so graciously donated and offered their time, sharing a glimpse into their journey on a plant-based diet. We will now hear from Diana as she shares her story about her plant-based journey.
Hi, my name is Diana. I live in Gilroy, California, which is the self-proclaimed garlic capital of the world. I've been vegan now since December of 2018. I hadn't really planned to become vegan, it just sort of happened. I was up late one night because my joints were bothering me. I have Lyme disease, which it feels to me like everybody in New York has Lyme disease. It seems to be like a requirement for citizenship or something. But here in California, it's a bit more rare. But anyway, so I was up late, my joints were bothering me, and I happened to be watching a show on YouTube, which was called Vegan 2018. And it caught my attention because it had an environmental pitch to it about how being vegan would lower your environmental footprint. And so I decided I would just try that for a week. I thought the food would be terrible, but to my surprise, the food was really good. During that week, I cooked separate meat meals for my husband and son because I thought there was no way they would be willing to try vegan food. To my surprise, they kept saying what I was eating looked really good and they wanted to try it. And they just kept wanting to eat my food. So at the end of a transitional period of about 3 weeks, and this again was sort of during the holiday time, which was probably a terrible time to make a dietary switch, but we had all switched over to going vegan. It probably was hardest on my husband because he did not want to tell his friends he was going vegan. It was like he was coming out of the closet or something. And he still will not tell most of his guy friends that he's vegan. It's like a big man secret or something. And he has seen the biggest benefits of anyone in our family from changing his diet. He is healthier and he's thinner and he has more energy, but he still won't tell his man friends. Personally, I've seen benefits as well. Mentally, I'm a lot sharper. My moods are better. I'm 50. So I've gone through the women change of life. My hot flashes are gone, which could be because there must be something in the meat. I didn't used to eat dairy before anyway, so it probably wasn't the dairy. But there was something in my diet that I'm no longer consuming that now is much better. So yay for that. But definitely all the phytonutrients, because we eat so many servings of fruits and vegetables a day. I estimate we get, instead of the 6 that they recommend on the standard American diet, we probably get 18. We're so well nourished. My son, who's gone vegan, he feels really good. He's always been a straight A student, but now his grades are just sort of rocketed off the charts. He's number 1 in his class. His college planner just recently told him that with his grades he could get into Stanford. He doesn't want to go to Stanford, but she told him he could because his grades are that good. So all of us have obviously definitely benefited from being on a vegan diet. We all feel really good. Let's see, anything unexpected? I really didn't expect the food to be that good. I really just thought vegan food would taste very bad. Our grocery bill went down, so meat happens to be very expensive. I also hadn't realized that I really did not like meat shopping, and I did not like cooking meat. It was not something I ever thought about, but I actually like cooking vegan food, so I like to cook now. So that's been really nice. So it's been a positive change for our family overall.
Diana went on to explain that she is very careful to not force any of her vegan agenda on others, but wants to encourage everyone through her story of the benefits of a plant-based diet. Let's now move on to Maria's story as she explains her journey through a plant-based diet.
Hi, my name is Maria, and I wanted to share a little bit about how I came to follow a whole food plant-based diet. I grew up following a very traditional Western diet, eating the traditional fruits and vegetables, the dairy, the meats, some sugar, processed foods that is generally found in today's culture. And I've had the benefit of living a fairly healthy life, and hadn't really given much thought to diet and nutrition. And then I turned 40, and on my 40th birthday, I had gotten blood results of recent tests, which showed elevation in a number of different areas in my body that were concerning. My cholesterol was elevated, my glucose levels, which indicated potential diabetes, was elevated. My inflammation markers were high, and it was time for me to make some changes. And that's when I decided to do a bit of research into nutrition as a potential medicine, and that's what got me to do a little bit of research of what it's like to follow eating plant-based. There is a lot of information out there on using nutrition for health, especially today. And while nobody truly can follow it 100%, perfection in this area isn't really the gold standard. I think making even small, consistent improvements really goes a long way. So I would highly recommend you looking into it, read up on it, and test it out. See how you feel after eating whole foods, plant-based diet, even for a month or 3 months, and kind of re-establish a new norm for you. My research of plant-based diet took form in following a lot of documentaries, books written on the subject, and through it I learned quite a lot about the harmful effects of the way a typical Westerner eats. I learned what essentially not to do, and I've also fortunately read a lot about examples of people who've changed their diet and the impact that's had on their bodies and their overall health. So I decided to follow the plan. I decided to eliminate dairy from my diet, firstly, sugars, and processed foods, and go back to eating as close to the original source of food as possible, with fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, and just give it a try and see how my body reacted. And I followed that way of eating for the majority of this year, and results are significant. My cholesterol has normalized, my glucose, inflammatory markers became normal. I started having more energy, just overall feeling a lot more healthy. I highly recommend this way of eating to anybody who's looking to improve their health. And you can start small. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be taking drastic measures. Maybe start with eliminating sugars or processed foods or dairy, or try and see how you feel. You truly have nothing to lose, and I'm convinced that eating this way is going to result in improved health markers all around.